For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
You know another word for flesh? Seed.
Right.
That's what Paul said, Yanli. He was of the seed of Israel, from the tribe of Benjamin. That would be the so-called West Indian blacks. You know, Jamaicans, Trinidadians. What else you got? The people from St. Vincent. The Haitians ain't Benjamin. You see what I'm saying? Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica. That's who Paul would be from. That's his tribe. Read on. Who are Israelites? You see that? Who are Israelites? That's Paul's brethren. That's his kinsmen. That's his seed, Yanli.
Right.
You see that? You ain't never heard that before. But guess why you didn't hear that? Give me Deuteronomy 28. We're going to go back to the basics for you, young. We're going to show you something that you've never seen before. Because guess what? God has woken you up. It wasn't no coincidence, y'all, that you was going to walk and break the Lord's Sabbath day. But he stopped you. And he said, come over here, Yanli. I got something to show you.
Right.
Read. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Give me chapter 27 and verse 1. Because I want you to know who Moses was talking to. You know who Moses is, right? Moses was one of the greatest men that ever walked this earth.
That's right.
Moses was from the tribe of Levi.
Right.
Moses would be today a so-called Haitian.
Right.
That's what you were saying. You was in the spirit. Moses would be a Haitian today. Moses was speaking to the certain people about if they did not listen to God's words. Right. Let's see who that people was that Moses was talking to. Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel. Moses with who? The elders of Israel. Moses was not talking to everybody, Yanli. Moses was an ancestor of Paul, which was what? He was what nationality was he?
I forget.
He was an Israelite.
Israelite.
He was an Israelite.
Right.
You see that? Moses and Paul was from the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
That's who Moses was addressing in the book of Deuteronomy.
Right.
Go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28. So, Yanli, we trying to establish something with you, my brother. You are my brother. You may say, I'm Liberian. I may say, I'm African American. But guess what? We only say that because the nations that put us in captivity divided and conquered us.
Right.
And they gave us Christianity. They gave us Islam. They gave us Buddhism. They gave us Hinduism.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Read. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou would not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So, Yanli, Moses was speaking in future tense. You ever heard of prophecy, right? This was a prophecy that Moses wrote to your ancestors. Read. Hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments. Moses said, if we don't listen and do all of God's commandments, one of the commandments that the soldier brought out for you earlier was the Sabbath day. You was about to go break the Sabbath day, which is a commandment from God.
That's right.
So, Yanli, how can somebody tell you you don't got to keep God's Sabbath day when God gave it to you?
Right.
Read. And his statute, which I command thee this day. So from the day that Moses spoke these words to the children of Israel, we were supposed to keep it.
That's right.
Read. That all these curses, hold up. So if we don't keep God's commandments, Yanli, God said through Moses, we would be cursed. Is a curse a good thing, Yanli? No, it's a bad thing. Guess what? This was one of the curses.
Right.
That they would take us from Africa and bring us to America. Because didn't they take the Liberians from Africa and bring them to America?
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But you never heard that, Yanli. How come you ain't never heard that in your church? And this is out the Bible. We challenge anybody. Why haven't we heard this in the church, Yanli? Read it again. But it shall come to pass,
if thou would not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So Yanli, who was Moses speaking to?
12 tribes.
He was speaking to the 12 tribes of Israel, right?
That's right.
Now I'm going to show you this is your ancestors.
Bring it out.
Moses was speaking to you.
Right.
You look, we stressing this with you, Yanli, because our people never heard this before.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And this is why we went into captivity, because we broke our God's commandment.
Right.
They're not going to teach you that in a history class. They're not going to teach you that in the Christian Baptist church.
Right.
Read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou would not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
God said if we don't keep his commandments, all of these curses would come upon us and overtake us.
Right.
Let's get one of the curses, Yanli, that you just said yourself. How did we get to America, Yanli? Through slavery. We're going to go backwards. Give me verse 68. Because we got over here in slavery. How did we get across the Atlantic Ocean, Yanli?
Slavery.
But how did we get from here to here? How did we get over there? Did we walk over there?
No.
How did we get there?
By boat or
By what?
boat.
By boats. Let's see. Yanli, is that in the Bible that we got here in slavery on boats?
Right.
It's not in the Bible? All right. Prophecy will be fulfilled today. Read.
Right.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Hold on, Yanli. We just established that you part of the 12 tribes of Israel. And that Moses said if we didn't keep God's commandments, we would go into slavery on ships. Give me Deuteronomy 5 and 6. Because you might say, Yanli, or somebody may say, it said he was going to send us into Egypt with ships. When you read throughout history, Yanli, did the Israelites ever go into Egypt on ships? No. How did they get to Egypt? They walked.
That's right.
They walked, Yanli. So, it says Egypt with ships. Sister, come over here. We teaching Yanli his true nationality.
That's right.
We teaching Yanli that how we got into slavery is in the Bible.
Right.
Read. Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
So what did God say Egypt was, Yanli? Read it again, the last part.
From the house of bondage.
What did God say Egypt was?
Bondage.
It was the house of bondage.
That's right.
What's another word for bondage, Yanli?
Curse.
Or slavery.
Right.
Bondage, slavery.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, Moses said that the house of bondage, because the landmass of Egypt was never called Egypt before the children of Israel came there in slavery. It was called Mizraim.
Right.
So once we got there, that's when it was changed to the land of bondage, or Egypt. Read, go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and read that again.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 68.
So when you hear slavery or you hear Egypt, think of bondage. So read it again. I mixed it up, but we gonna get it right. Read.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So what's another word for Egypt, Yanli?
Bondage.
Bondage
That's
or
right.
slavery. So God said, you will go into slavery
With ships.
Hold on. How did we get to America, Yanli?
Oh, shit.
With ships.
Right.
That's Bible prophecy. They stacked our people as like sardines. Come up, Yanli, I want you to see this, brother, so you can never be confused again. This is how we got to America. They packed us on these slave ships.
Right.
These are your ancestors. Moses said, read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So how did we get to America, Yanli? Brother, come take a flyer, man. This is your history. This is your heritage that's being taught. You're not going to hear this nowhere else out here in Fargo.
Right.
You should not aimlessly just walk past this information because your ancestors were sold into slavery for over 400 years
Right.
by this so-called white man. So, Yanli, we establishing the point, right? The children of Israel, Moses was talking to them. He said you were going to slavery on slave ships. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
God said, just how I said it, Yanli, you just bear witness that God's words is true.
Right.
Just how he said it was going to happen, it was going to happen. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
You was never going to see your homeland, Yanli, because you may say, well, in the 1800s, they brought us back to Liberia. That's not your homeland.
Right.
Your homeland is Israel.
That's right.
Because even in Liberia, our people are destroyed today.
Right.
Even in Ghana, our people are destroyed today.
Right.
Today. In the Congo, our people are destroyed today.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again. And there he shall be sold unto your enemies.
So what did they do, Yanli, when we came to America on those slave ships? Did they just let us go walk in the free? What did they do once we got to America off them slave ships? Huh? I got some more history for you, Yanli. What is that at the bottom of this sign right here? Yeah, what is that? What they doing? What is this right here? What are they doing to these people? What is this, Yanli? What are they selling for cash? They selling the slaves for cash.
Right.
That's what the Bible just said. Read that last part again.
Thou shalt see it no more again. And there,
When you got to America, Yanli.
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Wait a minute, Yanli. What is that? That's us being sold to who? So the white man is not your friend, Yanli. God said, I'm going to let you be sold into slavery on slave ships to your enemies. You see that?
Do we have all this written in here?
Yes. And when you look on the back of this flyer, Yanli, all of our contact information is on it.
Learn more about it.
We got YouTube, Facebook. We got thousands of videos teaching your history. Matter of fact, Yanli, we got a school in Liberia teaching this history.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You're not going to learn this anywhere else.